As above, so below. This is Tuesday, Mars Energy, to each and every one of you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, to my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and AJs, to each and every one of you guys. If this is your first time tuning in to my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. What's up, my storm, my Sagittarius from Detroit? To each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for supporting this platform. What I mean by supporting this platform, many of you guys are tuning in to my lives, and many of you guys are supporting the website and the things that you invest into your spirituality and utilizing this platform for melanated causes. My issues that I talk about and I express when it comes down to magic and spirituality has to do with melanin energy. That is 666. That is 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, and 6 protons. What's up there? What's up, my Ryan is in the house. My Libra, Cardinal Air on tonight. What's up, Cancer is in the house from North Carolina. There go my crab cakes in the house. What's up, Monique? And then, where Mama Susan? Okay, she coming. She coming. So I want to talk about something that. Hold on. First of all, I want to say hello to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello. Ryan, where's my Virgo? Oh, she there. Okay, there you go. I just saw it. I was checking for my Virgo. All right. Now, one of the things that I try to endeavor to do, because I've been practicing magic since I was a child, I am 52 years of age. I try to simplify magic, even though sometimes certain types of magic is complicated. It takes more investment than others. Certain rituals, certain conjures, certain initiations may be more involved than others, depending on your path, depending on what you're trying to do, how far you're trying to go. People come to me and give me different various and various desires and variations of the same type of desire. Most people come to me about money, but different types of money workings. Everybody can't afford what they desire. A lot of people don't have certain training that allows them to endure hardness as a soldier. So I want to talk about something that what's up, my Boaz is in the house. I want to talk about something that I believe that a lot of melanated people lack. Thank you for hitting that like button. And my subject tonight on this day of Mars and talking about Mars energy, and that can be from dragon's blood, that can be from iron, working with iron, that can be is something as simple as making a decision, that can be something regarding removing things from your life through the railroad track, or bringing things into your life through the railroad track. That can be something needing protection from the law, or protection, bringing the law in for protection, depending on your different situations in life. I want to talk about tonight life skill in magic. Life skill. And a lot of times I use scripture to reference spirituality because of the fact that I'm still in the church and I practice the ATRs, and there are people I've left the church but still have church influence. And so therefore there's some things on this platform is very relatable, even if you're not a Bible thumper, even though you may not be a person that considers yourself a Christian, but you do go by some of the principles that you have learned out the Bible. Because the Bible, a lot of that information came out of Kemet and Egyptology, if you have did any like type of real research. But my subject matter is life skills in magic. And a lot of people, melanated people, are in life just existing. They have a knowledge of everything's energy, everything's frequency and vibration. And to them, that's a no-brainer. But they lack the skills to operate in the energy, frequency, and vibration in the same life that they acknowledge that exists. And skills are something you develop. And you develop them based on how you go through the development. I'm going to say this again. A skill set is developed based off how, when you're going through development, how you go through that development. And also skills are developed based off your capacity or measure by which you can operate a certain skill set. And those things take time. And that's something black people do not relish or cherish. Time to develop their skill set when it comes to life. And there are variations of type of skill sets when it comes down to magic, when it comes down to operating in this thing called life. So I put down here to make sure I didn't forget. Just because you choose life rather than death doesn't mean you have skill set. How's your boyfriend doing today? Well, if I got a boyfriend, he was sucking my dick, so he doing real good. You understand? And probably is your daddy. You know what I'm saying? And you know I lay these inches in that anus of his. So, you know, and he nasty like the type of person that don't really matter which hole I put it in. Because as long as he got dick in him, he's half a camera. So, just because you choose life rather than death doesn't mean you have the skill set based off your choice. What's up, my baby Scorpio? And we appreciate y'all coming because this is a monetized channel and I win either way. Just because you choose blessing over curses, making a choice does not automatically give you skills. I'm gonna say this again. Making choices in life does not mean that you have the skill based off the choice you make. And once you make a choice to choose life, you have to understand you got to be committed to the choice that you make and the energy that is going to come into your life based off that choice of choosing life. It is easy to say I should live and not die, but you need to have skills to live and not die. Come on here, somebody. It's easy to declare out your mouth that you shall be the head and not the tail. But it takes skill to be the head and not the tail. And so when life begins to lifing, you have to have the skill set to stay as the head and not the tail. Because you can start at the head because of circumstance and situation or favor, but you don't remain as the head and not the tail because you don't have the proper skill set to remain at the mountaintop. When you're being challenged in life, you have to be around people that gives you, trains you the skill set. Listening is a skill set. Being able to hearken unto the voice of God, being able to hearken unto the voice of your ancestors is a skill set. You can have the hearing eye and you can have the hearing ear and the seeing eye, excuse me, and still not have the skills to operate in the very gift that God has given you. It takes time and it takes development. Everybody has a different skill set when it comes down to choosing life. Everybody has a different skill set when it comes down to listening to life. Come on here, somebody. Listening to life and understanding what life brings gives you the opportunity to prepare for what life is going to bring. And when you're not listening and you're not skillful at listening and you can't hearken to what you're not listening to, therefore when life begins to forecast what it's about to do, you're not prepared. You give up information, you give up opportunity, even though you have chosen to live and not to die. Let me say this again. I've heard people declare things out of their mouth and it sounds good. It sounds like they really want that. But to obtain what you want, you got to have certain skills. If you have watched people go through their trials and tribulations all your life and they have been defeated, and I mean in the aspects, they did not come out victorious, but they have declared, I'm still here. They lost an arm, they lost a leg, they lost a loved one, they lost a job, they lost their house. They took in a lot of losses. They took in a lot of water into their boat. These people are not skillful. And these are the people that you're learning from. And your skill set are subpar based off of the people or the cloud of witnesses that have gone on before you. People that are skillful in prayer know there's different types of prayers. There's different times that you have to pray. There's different times that you have to give certain levels of time to your prayer in order to get manifestation. This is why the Bible talks about praying without ceasing. There are certain things that you have chosen, but it needs your continual prayer, that continual type of prayer, that continual type of investment of energy, frequency, and vibration. That takes a skill set, baby. Everybody don't have them skills. Everybody don't have the chops. When you're in a diver of temptation, when your back is up against the wall, it takes a certain type of skill set to calm your nerves, to refocus yourself. And let me say this, and I'm trying to encourage people with sober thinking. I'm a Sagittarius, my moon is in Aries, and my rising sign is Pisces. I don't believe in telling people what to do. So hear me when I say this. I have no control when you choose life, but you're listening to doctors. But you're coming to God or coming to the divine or ancestors for a remedy to your situation. You have to choose certain man. When you choose life, who and what are you going to allow to operate in your life? And what report or what diagnosis are you going to believe? And when you acknowledge that diagnosis, what type of remedies are you going to accept inside your body, inside your mind, inside your energy, inside your spirit? Determines how you are able to utilize the choice that you made. You can tell me all day long, I want to prosper. But you choose to hear the reports of poverty. You choose scarcity over abundance. Are y'all hearing me? Everything when it comes to life and life skills and magic, everybody don't have those chops. They'll tell you a money spell, but they don't have the skill set to bring that thing to pass. And because they don't realize they could get more out of that spell if they had skills. Knowing that you can utilize cinnamon in money spells is not skills. Giving people recipes does not give them your skill set for cooking. You can give somebody your recipe and they're not skillful enough in the kitchen and still can't produce what the recipe calls for. They're too broke to buy the ingredients that the recipe calls for. What's up, Mama Susan, Gemini in the house? What's up, Truana Aries in the house? Just because you choose blessing rather than cursing doesn't mean you have the skill set to maintain your blessing. Some people are blessed, and because of their lack of skill set, they remove that blessing from their life. The things that I try to encourage people, they don't understand because they ain't got skills. And they didn't come from people around them that have skills. See, I can tell you about prosperity because I have the skills to maintain the prosperity that I live in. No matter what the season is, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the phase of the moon, I'm going to prosper. Whether it's at the mountaintop, whether it's at the valley low, it don't matter. Huh? It doesn't matter if there's a famine going on, I'm still going to eat. I'm still going to get my daily bread because I'm skillful. I need y'all to understand that just because you choose and declare out your mouth that you're going to choose life over death don't mean you have the skill set to maintain that. And then depending on the person that you're listening to, depending on what information are you allowing to enter into your mind, because you can hear diagnosis, you can hear a report like Joshua and Caleb and refuse the report of the other 70. You can hear the diagnosis in your family and decide that day that you're going to choose a better life and a better way of living and a better quality of living than your ancestors. And then learn the skill set above and beyond your ancestors that give you the ability to operate in the lifestyle above your people. Some of y'all think money gonna do it. Some of y'all not even skillful with money. You love money, you like money, and you want to have money, but you ain't got skills. You want power, huh? You like power. You envy power, but you ain't got the skill set not only to get it, but how to maintain it. Because you don't believe that it takes skills to manifest the very desire or the very result, the results of what you're requesting or choosing. You need skills concerning control. When you were trying to operate in magic, you got to have control. And you got to have skills in control. See, you can be trying to get control out of insecurity. You ain't gonna never maintain control if you're getting or trying to obtain control out of insecurity. When you're stable in your own energy, frequency, and vibration, sir and ma'am, you accept the things you can control, which is self, and the things you cannot control is other people. I'm going to say this again. I know that I can control the weather. As a son of God and a son of fire, I know I can speak to those things. And they will adhere to me because the elements are subject to my domain. I got skills. So I don't have to suffer the conditions of the weather. It doesn't matter what season of presidents that are ruling at that time. When the wicked is at rule, I am still in control. Because my source is not America. My source is not the government. God will still cause people to give into my bosom good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over because I got skills. No matter what people call me, I still got skills to walk in what God has called me. Come, I want to help somebody. Your name calling does not hinder what God has called me to be. Because I know you don't have the power to speak that over my life. You have the power to speak it out your mouth, but you ain't got the power to bring it to pass because I got the skills to stop you. You understand? See, you can't just deal with people and not have skills. Huh? I can bring out the whole in somebody that's really not skillful at being a hoe because I'm a skillful hoe. Are you understanding me? You can be an unskillful hoe and benefit off the skill set of a skillful hoe and have the time of your life. Come on, somebody. You can be somebody that desires prosperity, but be around somebody that has the skills in that area. See, I have the skill to fight off sickness and to maintain my health and well-being. There's skill that comes along with it. It's just not the herb. A lot of people don't understand. You can take sour sop, but you don't believe in the energy or the understand the structure behind sour sop. You can get the High John the Conqueror herb or roots, but you ain't got the skill to make it do what it do. That's why when the people get their candles from Amazon and it's not the candle, baby. It's a skill set of being able to manipulate fire, being able to harness energy, to being able to direct energy, disperse energy around and through that candle. The skill set to use the drawing herb to draw or magnetize. See, listening at people's recipe doesn't mean you have the skill set. And that's what they're leaving out. Or they're ignorant. They can't tell you what they don't know. You come to this platform to learn and from me because I got a certain skill set. I don't just get on here and talk. I got skills when I talk. When people come and try to address me, you see how I can address things and still stay on task? That's skill. I remember my baby Scorpio said that. I remember my Natasha Foster said that. Certain people that watch me start watching me. And they start realizing this man got a certain level of skill set. Because that's not normal what he's able to do. He can still be going through something in his own life and still be working things out in other people's life. See, this is where Joseph was in prison, but his gift of being able to interpret dreams was still setting people out of the very place that he was confined in. See, when you're skillful, you can be going through a trial and bring other people out of their circumstances and their trial. See, I can give you security. I got skills. I know what it takes for you as an air sign, a fire sign, as a water sign, as a earth sign to have security. This is why I'm telling Sister Triana, what you're doing is not going to change anybody's mind. If you don't stabilize your life, you're going to be right back into the same situation that you just left out of. When you're making choices and you're choosing one thing over the other, you got to understand what stabilizes your energy. You always need shelter. Let me tell y'all something. I got skills. And I acquired those skills over the training and also the trials that I've gone through and the people that I have helped. That is where my skill set has multiplied. The more people I help in various of situations, I strengthen my skill set and I expose myself to other ways of doing things. See, when I first started, I heard there's more than one way to skin a cat. I intellectually understood that. I was able to articulate it. But I did not have the skill set to skin that cat more than one way. Because I was young. And I was learning from other people that I watched shush kebab that cat. I watched other people fry that cat. I watched other people skew that cat. I watched other people skin that cat. I watched them operating their skills, and I started developing my skill set as I grew older and wiser. I learned how to skin that cat through air element. I learned how to skin that cat through water element. I learned how to skin that cat through earth element. I learned how to skin that cat through fire element. I learned how to hang that cat, and I learned how to bury that cat. Is somebody follow me on today? It sounds good when you hear other people talking, but that doesn't mean that you're acquiring the skill set necessary. And that's where you get your classes. That's when you have personal tutelage, so people can make you understand. This is why many of you guys that don't get my classes are not getting my products. You're never going to be able to connect all of the dots that are necessary to gain the skill just by watching my video. You can't be on outside looking in and think you're going to acquire a skill. Let me say it again. You can't be outside of Ifa and thinking you're going to gain the skill of Ifa. You can't be outside of voodoo. You can't be outside of a relationship and gain the skills to maintain a relationship. That's why when people get in a relationship, they don't work. Because they ain't got the skills. Their level of importance is very different when it comes to relationships. This is why when people tell me about relationship, whether it's natural or spiritual, I tell people the work that comes in to having a relationship. And most people don't want the skill set necessary in order to be in a relationship. If you're looking for a perfect mate, you're not ready for a relationship because they don't exist. If you're looking for a perfect business partner, because somebody that's in business have made mistakes, and there's a risk factor when you're operating in business. And you in business, you should know that. So you should be able to assume the risk that you can take or your business partner will take together, and y'all got enough cushion for the risk that you're taking. The problem is people get in business and they're not ready for the risk. You can be in business for anything. Everything got a high and a low. If you don't got the skill set, you ain't gonna be able to weather the storm of a particular business. You want to be in the spiritual business, but you don't want to be spiritual. The reason why a lot of people get put out of business and go out of business is because the very business line that you're in, you yourself is not that person. Instead of you being in the music industry and staying away from the vocals and doing the writing in the music business. See, you can stay in the business of something you love, but get in what you good at. Some of y'all got a great voice, but you ain't got a great presence. You're not marketable. See, you don't like to hear that because there takes a certain skill set to get out on the stage of people that you don't know and perform a song over and over. Sometimes you tired of singing a song, but the people that paying the tickets want to hear the song. Do you have the kind of skill set that even if you're not enjoying it, you're going to do your duty? That's why you get into sex, and because you ain't into the man or the woman that you married, you can't perform because you ain't got no skills. Because sex is a mind thing, not a heart thing. You ain't got to be in love to bust a nut. You don't have to be in love to be stimulated. If he or she is not appealing, look at that money on that dresser. Look at them bills being paid. Whatever get your mind there to perform, to operate, to function. Because we talking about Mars energy. Because you're making things that are about stuff, it ain't. It's about skills. Huh? You got to have some skills to push out, baby, for a man you don't even want. You got to have some skills, baby. You got to have some emotional skills, some mental skills, and some physical skills. And let that man die believing you were in love with him. And in your mind, he was alright, but he was a good provider. That takes skill, baby. You ain't got them kind of skills. Some of y'all are a good liar, but you ain't a skillful liar. Because nobody believes the lie you tell. You're not skillful. Huh? If you skillful, people don't know if you're telling the truth or a lie. People don't know you if you're being serious or not. You just that skillful. My baby Scorpio recognized, she said, Apostle Eli, I don't mean no offense to this, but I gotta say this. She said you would sell water to a fish. That is some skill. You will sell the very breath that somebody breathing, and you'll sell it back to them. Come on here, somebody. That takes skill. That takes ability to know the product in and out, and utilize the product so you are able to come from a personal testimony. See, some of y'all trying to be a salesman and a saleswoman, and you ain't got the skills. You don't have the juice. See, if I'm gonna sell you a Sister Good Pussy spell or a Sweet Dick Willie spell, I gotta have some good dick. I can't just say I have a service or a product. I have to display. And sometimes I send my flock and I send my tribe some of my testimonials. Because now I'm going to show you what Sweet Dick Willie can do. See, you can't convince anybody that you have chosen life over death. You can't convince anybody that you have chosen blessing over cursing when you lack the skills. You don't even know how to present yourself. You want to look like money. You want to smell like money. You want to be able to let money find you. But where's your skill set? You want to be prosperous, but you got a poverty mentality. You are always looking for a deal. You're not skillful with the money, because money should never be looking for you. Money should be where you at. What's up, my Demetrius? Do you understand? I got skills. My skills are so good sexually that you ain't even got to like me to want to have sex with me. You can be mad with me and still want to have sex with me. You can be racist and still want this dick. I got skills. You can keep your same feelings, your same mindset, and get this dick. I got skills. You can stay Muslim, but you will be a believer. You can stay in Obia, but you're going to get some of this voodoo dick. Because I got skills. Skills for your daddy and your mom, your brother, and especially your granny when she get that check. I got skills. Huh? When your granddaddy get that Social Security check, I got the skills. And he ain't got to come off his walker. I got skills. He can hold on his walker and I will work him over. I got skills as a communicator. I know how to hear and I know how to speak. Some of y'all got ears and y'all got mouths, but you ain't got no skills either way. You don't know what to say, when to say, and how to say it. That's what Tree Rhonda saw me when we were at car lot. She saw her spiritual dad got skills. She watched me back their ass up in their own facility. She watched me take control in their own facility. Because at the end of the day, just like I told them that I had what they needed, but they also had what I needed. But I changed the trajectory of who was in control. See, a lot of times in the bedroom, depending on who's the most dominant, is whether the pussy rule or the dick rule. And I'm always going to be in control. Whether you are riding me or I'm beating your back from the back. I'm always in control. I got skills. I'm going to be in control whether you're riding me, sucking me. I'm still in control. I'm a control freak. And in order to be a control freak, you got to have skills. Because if your control only determines based off your position, then you're not in control and you lack skills. When you lose control because of your position in life, you don't have skills. I'm in control of the weather, whether it's sunny outside or whether there's a storm brewing. Because in order to have control, you got to have understanding. And all you're getting gets you some understanding. Are you hearing me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you a skillful gatherer? Huh? Are you the type of person that somebody can putting something down good for you and you don't know how to pick it up because you ain't got the skills? See, I know my daddy had skills as a fisherman because not only he knew how to hook what I got in that water, he knew how to pull it out. Some of y'all are able to hook something. You skillful enough to hook it, but you ain't skillful enough to pull it out. And this is why I tell women that they use their whole skills to get a man, but to try to use Jesus to keep him. You got to have the skills to get that man and to keep that man. Your mama didn't have skills, that's why they were always fighting. An insecure person is always arguing and combative because they don't know how to maintain self-control. And that takes skills. The first thing when something's going on, I get quiet. Because now the skills of listening is going to tell me what I need to do. What I can do from what I can't do. Where my leverage is and where it is not. Those are skills, baby. Because if you quiet your mouth and listen with your ears, you will determine how far you are in or out. See, when somebody talking to me and they're talking about things that are not relevant to our conversation, I let them know. What are we talking about that for? See, when you got skills, you know what's relevant and what's not relevant. You know what's being deflected and how to return back to the various of conversation or topic or subject matter that you were once discussing. That takes skills. That's when somebody is trying to turn your blessing into a curse, it takes skill to get that energy, frequency, and vibration off of your blessing. All you want to do is quote, you can't curse what God has blessed, but you ain't have the God energy and the skill set to keep that blessing a blessing. The enemy comes in like a flood. Do you have the skill set to lift up a standard? Are you watching people that are skillful? Are you watching people that are mindful? They're good at listening and they're good at speaking. Because a skill set is also verbal communication and non-verbal communication. You got to be skillful enough to read people's body language. You got to be skillful enough to pick up on the energy that's around you. Whether you can see it or perceive it or not, you know it's there. Because some people are skillful enough to masquerade their energy in one light versus another. My spiritual dad used to teach me, he said a lot of black people are, because he knew that psychologically, black people believe white is right. He said, if you want to damage a nigga, he said, do all your candle work, destruction work, through white candles. Because they're going to allow that white energy to come in. You see how you can get fucked up believing that white is right? None of your senses are going to be aware, because as long as they're not using dark candles or black candles or earthen candles, your system is not going to be alert. I will use that same white light that you believe so deeply in. Destroy your ass. Because white light, black light is energy, frequency, and vibration. I will both. I got skills. Huh? I will kill you with that same Jesus you believe in. You don't have skills. You're not learning from people with skills. You're not understanding. You don't have knowledge. And you're not going to get that knowledge unless you are up under somebody to teach you and to show you how to and examine your skill set. That's when you hear me, I'm going to drop some more nuggets. When you hear me say, I'm not trying to change your mind, because I'm going to use the way you think against you. And win. You think I'm trying to change you. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to convince you. I need you to stay right there where you at. Just like I told a person a couple nights ago, I need you to hold that position. Huh? I don't care how good it feels. I don't care how deep I get in your guts. I need you to hold. That's your only job. Hold that position. I need you to hold that state of mind. I need you to hold that emotional state while I walk the dog with your ass. Huh? I need you to hold that testimony that you have, that you believe so deeply in. I need you to hold that and keep that while I work your ass. You're confused about what my skill set is. You think I need you to believe in my voodoo. I need you to believe in my conjure. I don't need you to believe in my conjure, not when I'm whooping your ass. When I'm trying to help you, yes, I need your belief system. I need your cooperation. But if we are at odds, I don't need shit from you. I need everything from me. That's what you need to understand. I don't need you to stop being racist. It affects me not. I don't need you to stop being prejudiced. It affects me not. I'm trying to show you levels of skill set when you make a choice. I'm saying, I'm not going to give you an egg on the stick. I'm going to teach you the skills, some skill set behind the egg on the stick. I don't just have copper on. I got skills. I know what this is doing for my body inside and out. I know how to utilize the tools that I have. I got skills. I'm benefiting off of the arche that's in this state because I'm skillful. I can maintain peace in the midst of confusion. Your chaos doesn't move my chaos. I had some people, they get upset with me at the church and they have emotional, it means nothing to me. Your emotional state cannot affect me. See, this is what people don't understand. You're beneath me. And I know how to bring your ass in under subjection. I don't care who you are. That's the point of knowing your jurisdiction. Knowing what you can bring under subjection to you from what you can't. All you doing is your emotional outburst is going to hurt you. Every energy that you stir up because you're pissed off, it's only going to run into my protection. I don't care. I'm not here to make somebody feel, think, or what. Do what you do, boo. That's what black people don't understand about me. What you do and how you do, as long as it don't affect me, I can care less. That's your life. That's your choice. You got a right to choose whatever it is that you desire. But what you don't have the right to do is mess with my life. Because once you try to mess with my mind, my emotion, and my energy, that's when you're going to have some problems. Would I like to see people grow and develop and all that? Yes, I would. But I'm still going to be who I am, whether you accept my help or not. See, when you make a choice, you got to understand you got to fight to maintain that choice. I wouldn't spend money like you spend. I wouldn't have the relationship that you have. I get people to look at me all day long. I get all the attention that I want. And they don't even like me. But I have magnetism. Everybody that listens to me don't understand me. But I'm charismatic. I'm animated. I understand that I have other things about myself that makes me attractive. Everything ain't about your looks. Some things about what you say, how you say it, how you come off. Some people are attracted to my masculine energy. Some people are attracted to my feminine energy. I'm androgynous. Some people are attracted to my power, my forcefulness, my aggressiveness. And some people are attracted to the gentle lion that I can be. More people are afraid when I get quiet than when I'm talking. Because they have learned my skill set. I am dangerous when I'm speaking, but I am more dangerous when I am quiet. Mafedi Fumoya. A storm is a storm. It don't matter how quiet it is. A storm is still a storm, no matter how quiet. If the wind ain't even blowing, it's still a storm. It still has all of the elements of a storm. If my spell, my recipe don't look like yours, it's still a spell. It's still a conjure. Because you can't see the extraterrestrial elements and ingredients in my workings. Because it's higher than your perception. I'm going to say it again. You can't watch what you can't see. You can't block what you don't know is there. What exists is existing above your knowledge, your perception, and your feelers. I can operate all around you, beyond your senses, and yet be so very close to you. I can be well within striking distance, and you'll never pick me up. Because I'll be operating in an energy outside of your skill set. I'm going to say it again. I am operating an energy outside of your skill set. But I'm well within range of striking. That's skill. That's life skill. You don't know if I'm coming from north, south, east, and west, or you don't know if I've been there the whole time. Because you think astral projection is on one level. There's some of us got mad skills when it comes to dispersing aspects of ourselves. If God, can I drop some knowledge on you? If God can send his voice to walk through the garden, you can seek the face of God and not have the hand of God or the finger of God. So I know that parts of me can be dispersed. I'm going to say it again to all y'all a little slow. Just like the Bible said, the eyes of God will go to and fro in the earth. The eyes of God. Where the rest of him? Where the rest of her at? See, there's different aspects of existence, of energy, frequency, and vibration. And you don't have the skill set. So when you're trying to get other people to listen at me and to interpret of who I am, if they're not extraterrestrial, they hear what I'm saying. But if they can't perceive it, how they gonna teach you my skill? They can't do that. I want you guys to really think about where you want to go versus where I'm really headed. Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated. Don't lose your finances, because you're going to need your finances. You got to become skillful with your finances and know how to pace yourself so you can space yourself. Learn how to pace yourself, the speed that you can space yourself, that when you're in one of those waves, that you got something in that wave that can maintain you. Maintenance is a skill set. To keep something looking brand new is a skill. To keep your relationship fresh is a skill. I don't care how many times I had sex with my wife. It was like she was having sex with multiple men. Because I know how to be innovative. I know how to bring variety. I'm skilled. She didn't ever know what kind of niggas you get. She didn't know what spirit was going to be on board. But she knew she liked it. That's the part she can testify. I like it. She was like, Mikey, I like it. I like it. I like it. You like what I do. You don't understand what I do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But watching does not give you skills. I'm teaching and going to show my baby Scorpio some skills when it comes to courtroom work. That's something she's going to develop. Some of y'all talking about y'all want to get healed. That's a skill set. It's a certain mindset you got to have when it comes down to being made whole. You got to believe in yourself for real. You can't just be talking. You got to walk it. You got to be anchored in your personal truth and your personal conviction. And nobody can encourage. Too many of y'all want to be healed, set free, and delivered, but you need external encouragement. The kingdom is within. Give me the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and I will apply. I will execute with skill. I say that for a reason. With skill. You're going to have to keep up. You're going to have a perpetual blessing. An ongoing blessing. So you can maintain your warfare, maintain your healing, maintain your prosperity, maintain your health and well-being. Amen. I taught you something today. I teach them all the time. And to be able to give fresh manna every day, it takes skill. Imagine what I really know. I see y'all later. God bless.